Stephen A. Smith says LeBron is soft for having Clutch Sports contact him about criticizing Bronny. Now, say what you want about Stephen A. Smith, but when he's mad and he goes at somebody, it is must-see TV. This time, it seems like LeBron James is in the line of fire. And I can't speak for everybody else, but I can speak for myself. And I can't wait to hear what he has to say. What's up, everybody? It's Coach Kev. Stephen A. Smith vs. LeBron James, the gift that keeps on giving. Stephen A. Smith on his show First Take criticized LeBron for having Bronny James in the NBA before he's ready to play NBA basketball, but a lot of people are saying that Bronny James is not ready for the NBA, but Stephen A. Smith is saying it is mostly LeBron's fault that his son is being exposed negatively and being talked about and even being put into this situation. So he went on his show, the Stephen A. Smith Show, and I guess somebody from Clutch Sports, which is LeBron's agency, contacted Stephen A., maybe told him to relax, calm down on the criticism. I don't know what they did or what they said. Maybe he'll explain it in this video. But somebody out there reached out to Stephen A. Smith because he's been criticizing LeBron and criticizing Bronny. If you know Stephen A. Smith, he's not going to take that quietly. He goes on his show. He talks about what was said, and he talks about the entire situation. Let's listen to him. And let's see what we got going on.
You know, I was on First Take, my day job on ESPN earlier this morning, and I spoke about this, and I felt the need to elaborate even further because a couple of people text me and pissed me off, and they know who they are. People close to LeBron James talking to me about questioning him as a father. Come on, y'all. I mean, it's gotten to a point where this LeBron sensitivity is just beyond the pale. You call him the second best player in the history of the game, you're insulting him because you said he's not the GOAT. You're saying that at age 40, we've never seen anybody do what he does, but pointing out at times how he may not have hustled back on defense in a key pivotal moment, and that's a problem. You give him all the praise in the world when he drops 40, but he has a bad night, and you say he had a bad night and you're hating. It's ridiculous.
This is what I'm trying to say. This is what I've been trying to explain. It's like whenever he does something great or exceptional, praise. Praise to the high heavens. Anything bad, negative, wrong he does, oh, you're going at him. He's a philanthropist. He's a father. He's this. Oh, why? He's 40. He's old. It's an excuse after excuse after excuse. Why is that? He's supposed to be, quote unquote, your GOAT, right? The GOAT. So he should be able to take the good with the bad. If we're criticizing him about what he's doing on the court, then I don't understand what is wrong with that. Like, if he's 40 and he has a bad game, you can't be like, oh, it's because he's 40, but then he's 40 and he has a great game. You can't be like, oh, he's the first player ever to do this with 40. Oh, he's spectacular. Look at the athleticism. Man, it goes both ways. It's a yin and a yang, and that's what I hate about LeBron James fans. They want to take the good, they want to wash away the bad, and we are not having it. Thank you, Stephen A. Smith, for stepping up.
But never before has it been more ridiculous than it is right now, because the reality is that we got to be real about what we're seeing when we talk about Bronny James. I am not a person that had a problem with Bronny James being on the court for the season opener with LeBron James. That was a phenomenal moment to see a father on the court with his son who has NBA aspirations playing together for the first time in NBA history. The Griffeys in baseball, Ken Griffey Sr. and Jr. were in attendance for it. It was a special moment. My position has always been that should have been the only moment we saw Bronny James in a Lakers uniform this season, because he's not ready. I'm not here to tell you that he won't be ready. I'm not here to tell you that he won't be an NBA player. I'm not here to tell you that he should give up his dreams and his aspirations. I think the kid's got potential. I think the kid will be in the NBA one day. I watched him in the G League doing this thing. I think he's going to be fine eventually. But that's not the case yet. And because it's not the case yet, and then you see some of these numbers, I do find myself looking at LeBron James instead of Bronny James. Because LeBron is the basketball savant. LeBron is one of the top 2 greatest players in the history of the game. LeBron has forgotten more basketball than most people would know.
So what's wrong with what Stephen A. Smith is saying? He's saying Bronny James may end up a decent to good NBA player, but right now he's not ready for it. And I think a lot of people agree with that. He's just not ready now. Like, keep him in the G League, continue to let him develop, and don't, quote unquote, embarrass him by bringing him up to the NBA, playing against the likes of all-stars like Tyrese Maxey and going 0 for whatever, turnovers and all this, and just looking terrible. Like, that's just, that makes no sense to me as a basketball observer, as a basketball player. Like, it just doesn't make sense. But everybody can see that Bronny James is not ready for the NBA right now, which is not an outlandish statement.
So no matter what we think about Bronny, he knows more. But you see what you see. Bronny James has played in 13 NBA games. Ladies and gentlemen, he's averaging 0.3 points, 0.3 assists, and 0.4 rebounds. He shot 1 for 16 from the field in his NBA career and 0 for 7 from three-point range. And he's playing in the first quarter of an NBA game? Really? And everybody wants to look at it, and LeBron has nothing to do with that. He didn't tell J.J. Redick to put him in the game. I get all that. But come on. I'm not being cruel to Bronny. I'm looking out. Do you want it this way, LeBron? Do you want it this way, Rich Paul? Do you want it this way? He can't go into the G League and average 20, 25 and stay there until he's ready? Because he's LeBron's son, you know how they're going to judge him. And before anybody wants to jump on me, remember, I never saw Bronny James play until he showed up in the NBA and the G League. I refused to watch him because if I watched him, I would have to talk about him. And I didn't want to talk about LeBron James' son because I thought it was so unfair to the kid. He's such a wonderful kid.
See, so there we go. That's the dynamic. Where do we find the even ground of criticizing a player, now NBA player, for not playing well or not being ready or whatever the case may be, to being like, oh, it's LeBron James' son, so we don't want to put all that pressure on him. We feel bad for him and all that. There we go, to both sides of the fence. And like Stephen A. Smith is saying, LeBron is the father. He's the one that knows the game, knows and understands. He should be asking to keep Bronny in the G League, let him continue to develop down there, like bringing him up, like Stephen A. Smith said, the stats, 0 this, 0 that, 0, like, let him develop in the G League. Let him develop, and then when we believe he's ready, give him a shot. But right now, he's not ready.
Wonderful family.
LeBron James, Bronny James, Stephen A. Smith. There's so many moving parts right now. So I need all your thoughts in the comments below. LeBron James, is he putting too much pressure on his son? Does he have the power to, quote unquote, control where his son is? Meaning, can he keep him in the G League, tell the Lakers brass and whatever, the coaches and all them, to allow him to develop more in the G League before we bring him back up to the NBA? Should Bronny be able to take the criticism? He didn't ask to be LeBron James' son, but he wanted to play in the NBA. He wants to play basketball, so should we be able to give him the criticism like we would give any other type of player? Stephen A. Smith, is he okay with criticizing LeBron the way that he's handling this situation, with criticizing Bronny? Is Clutch Sports okay with reaching out to Stephen A. Smith and telling him that it's not okay, you're going at LeBron as a father? Like, there's so much going on. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below about this entire situation. It's tough to talk about because Bronny didn't ask for this, but he's an NBA player, and we can't just be like it's LeBron James' son and not criticize him like we would do any other NBA player who is not performing on the court. Clutch Sports reaching out to Stephen A. Smith is nasty work, because it's always, anytime you criticize LeBron for anything, it's always, he's a father, philanthropist, great husband, great community work, like all this stuff, all these positive things, but you can never say anything negative about him on the court. Why is that? Like, I don't understand that, but he's 40 plus, first player ever, 40 plus to have a triple-double in NBA history, first player ever. Praise. He does a crazy, spectacular dunk. Oh, do you see the athleticism at 40 plus years? Oh, it's amazing. He has 8 turnovers in the game. Damn, LeBron James is playing trash, man. He is garbage game. He was 2 for 16, whatever the case may be. Oh, he doesn't have enough help. I mean, he's 40 plus years old. How do you expect him to carry a team at this age? It's like, you know what? I can't take it anymore. I don't understand it, man. They love LeBron, the LeBron lovers, man. The quote-unquote, everybody that thinks he's the GOAT, man. You just can't say nothing negative about this guy. But I'm not Team LeBron. I'll say anything negative that I want about LeBron James. And if you guys come at me, then it is what it's gonna be. Till next time, this is Coach Cav, and I'm out of here. Peace.